afternoon and good evening to all of you who is watching this video at this time. Depends on where you live. My name is Theodore. In this video, I'm going to show you how a new group of 15,000 migrants and farmers all over the world are on the way to the Mexican and the US border. And also, I will show you how Haitian migrants are living in Mexico. Please don't go anywhere. Also, sit back, relax, and enjoy this video. And I will see you in a new one. Ciao.
Opportunities for people to be able to stay in their home countries. But critics argue U.S. aid is rarely used to improve living conditions in Central America and other regions, fuels government corruption, is instead allocated to law enforcement and the militarization of borders. Coinciding with the start of the Summer of the Americas, a caravan of thousands of asylum seekers departed the southern Mexican city of Tapachula on Monday. This is asylum seeker from Colombia.
God willing, to the United States. God willing.
Why are you in this caravan?
Brother, we've been here for almost a month, and they haven't solved anything regarding the humanitarian visa. We want a future for our family. We are not violent. We just want a better future for our families.
Are you aware that the Summit of the Americas is being held?
Yes, sir. That's why we went out today. Truth is, it's complicated, my friend. We just want them to give us permission to cross Mexico without any problems.
I went online to find out what was happening and realized the migrants were coming from countries with political and economic crises. She wanted to help and filled with migrants heading to the U.S., mostly from southern Mexico and Central America. Those migrants are often shunned by the locals, forced to live out of sight in sewers. Aguilar says she's not the only one who feels this way. All day, Tijuana residents stop by the migrant shelters where the Haitians and Africans congregate. They give away clothes. They drop off snacks like sandwiches and sports drinks. They cook full meals. Some of the Mexican and Central American migrants who live on the streets find this one-sided charity unfair. They squeeze into the crowds to grab some for themselves.
Thank you, Jesus Christ, for everybody, all people.
Just a few days ago, Tijuana residents set up a table on the street, offering fried chicken, rice, and beans to the Haitians and Africans. Homeless Mexican migrants got in line. Jorge Cruz, a Tijuana taxi driver who brought the chicken, was not happy about that.
I told him, "You're Mexican. What do you lack?"
Some of the Mexican and Central American migrants are also fleeing dire circumstances, such as persecution. But locals have an easier time perceiving the Haitian and Aguilar set up the table on the street. At first he brought tortas and burritos, Mexican food. But the Haitians didn't like it. He found out that they preferred chicken, rice, and beans.
But right now we just find out they like whole beans, not crushed beans.
The surge of Haitians and Africans started in May. Since then, migrant shelters like the Desayunador Salesiano have housed and fed thousands. But as more keep coming, it's starting to be too much for the shelters.
This is turning into chaos, into an alarming crisis.
Shelter coordinator Margarita Andonaigui says generous Mexicans are making things worse. All the charity has created a sort of party atmosphere in the street, she says. People leave trash everywhere. They fail to come into the shelter for their daily breakfast and dinner, preferring to eat outside. Haitians and Africans are mixing with homeless locals who use drugs, she says.
This is her baby who crosses the 23rd. No problem. They're addicts who take advantage of the situation and they say, "My Haitian friend, I love you. Smoke this, drink
Shelters
this."
are working with officials to slowly funnel the migrants to the ports of entry. Already had to turn away. But Andonaigui says that now that the U.S. and Africa to start sending most of the Haitians back to Haiti, everything's going to change. She's also worried about all the drivers who keep stopping not to cross into the U.S. at all, offering them because they don't want to go back to Haiti and taking them away, which hasn't recovered from the devastating 2010 earthquake. That means
purpose of taking
couldn't
them,
cross
they
to
don't
the
know
other
what
side.
they're getting into.
Rodine Sanserine is one of
Next
about
to the shelter,
4,000
the migrants
Haitians
get
who never made it
documents from
across the
Mexican
border
immigration officials
after
who
the
are
U.S.
working with the
abruptly
to give
closed its
migrants set
doors.
dates to appear at a
The journey for many of these migrants began after the devastating 2010 earthquake that killed tens of thousands and displaced 1.5 million people. Many Haitians started over in Brazil and other South American countries, but as Brazil's economy worsened and jobs dried up, thousands headed north. After initially allowing thousands of Haitians in, the Obama administration began deportations in late 2016, and the pace has picked up under President Donald Trump. As the U.S. closed its doors, Mexico opened theirs, giving thousands of humanitarian visas with permission to work.
There's no reason for the Mexican government not to allow them to have those opportunities.
Now many Haitians are stepping in to fill labor shortages at northern Mexico's factories and finding other jobs in the area.
This company treats me well. I don't want to leave. I think my children will come here.
In just a short time, the Haitian community has widened its footprint, working, worshiping, and learning a new language.
In Mexico, they treat us very well. I don't know how it is for other Haitians, but for me, it's been very good.
But as much as Abulson Etienne feels welcome in Tijuana, it's not a...
I want to see my kid. I feel sad every time I speak to my wife, hear my kid cry. I see my kid in video calls, but I can't touch or hug my firstborn.
Etienne hopes he'll be permitted to visit his family one day so he can meet his son. For now, he's polishing his new skills, learning how to make the most of what's become the Mexican dream. Ned Barker, Associated Press.